Hey guys, today's video is going to be a little bit different than what I usually do. Usually do small engine repair and other stuff like that. I got this drill here, and before you start laughing, yeah, it is a $12 drill, but it still works good. Just the cord went out on it again. It keeps doing this. When you look here, you can see the bare wires on the black wire, which is the hot wire. So it's time for a new cord or a new drill. I got this old drop light. It got broke, and then bought a new one, but it's got a real long cord on it. I was thinking about just cutting this off and using this cord on this drill. Both of them are 2-prong, so it should work fine. I thought I'd make a little video on it. Maybe you got a drill or some other power tool that needs your cord, and might give you a few pointers on how to do it. And it's best to have a grommet here. That's what causes these to go out like this. Have a grommet come out to about right here. I'm going to try to use a piece of fuel line, see if that'll work, if I get the wire to go inside it. I was going to cut this one and splice it, but it's already short enough as it is. You'll probably lose about 4 or 5 inches, because there's probably another break somewhere in here that had to be cut out of it. So we'll do it like that. And so I guess we'll go ahead and start taking it apart here. You got several screws in this one. One there, one there. And they're probably different lengths, so you have to pay attention to that. Get all these out here. Okay, it's pretty much ready to come apart. And most of the time, if it's stuck, you can get a screwdriver or a knife started in there, and hopefully nothing falls apart. I can't remember exactly how this one was. It's been a year or two since I worked on it. Okay, that's the way I was hoping it would come apart. Everything's out of this. And also another thing, I just happened to think about it. When you got it apart here, it's a good time to put a little bit of grease on your gear here on the motor, because this is under a lot of stress and everything. Like I said, I know it's a cheap drill, but I just can't see wasting something. It just needs a new cord when the motor's still good on it. A lot of times these gears will strip out on these cheaper drills. But then you get a little clamp here. You can see last time I used just red electrical tape to try to make my own grommet. It didn't really work out too good. I'm going to try to use a piece of fuel line or something like that and do it a little bit better this time. You see, I just wire nutted it last time because I knew I'd be doing it again. And just match up your wires with your new wire, that way you're getting the polarity right. It's not real critical on something like this with a plastic housing, but we'll do it right. No point in getting it mixed up if you're right here hooking it up. Okay, so set this off the side. Might be able to use it for something someday. I save everything. I never throw nothing away. This is a pretty long cord on it. Cut this off. That was a good drop light. We was working on my truck and got crushed somehow. I bought another one though. Using this long cord because it seems like you always need an extension cord with the drill, and this way it'd be kind of like having one all the time with it. You want to go around and gently cut just the outer part. You don't want to cut into the wire. You can kind of start to see just the wire. You take your time with it. You got like a insulation in there. And there's your 2 wires. You want to inspect that you didn't cut into them. There's just a little bit of a nick right there. I'm not worried about that because that's on the neutral side anyway. And you want to strip your wires back. Now, you don't have to use wire nuts. If you don't have any wire nuts or don't like wire nuts, you can use a crimp connector, or you could solder it and just tape it if you wanted to, or just twist them together and tape it and call it a day, because it's going to be inside here anyway and it should never come loose. It's really up to you however you like to splice a wire. So now we'll look for a grommet here, something I can make a grommet out of, and see if I can find something. I got a piece of 1/4 inch ID fuel line here, 7/16 OD. You can see it fits perfect in here, like it was made for this. I'm going to get it stuck out like this. That way I can put it in here like this with that clamp. I don't think that clamp will hold it over top of that. No, I don't see no way that'll work. So we'll do it like this, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull this back more. I'm going to use a little bit of spray adhesive. Super glue would be best. I'm going to put a little bit of spray adhesive on this. That way when this slides up on there, it'll be bonded to the insulation. Kind of twisted a little bit. Like I said, super glue would be best for something like this. But just want to get your wires spliced back together, whichever way you prefer to splice wires. Also, you want to, if it's on something like this, it ain't so critical, but if it's on a saw or something like that, you want to make sure that your new cord is the same amperage rating and same gauge of wire as your old one. That way you won't have to worry about burning nothing up or overheating the wire or anything like that. That's really the most important part of doing this, is matching up your wires, so you won't ever have that problem. You could use a bigger wire on something like this, but you never want to use a smaller wire. That way you know you're at least meeting the amperage. You don't have to worry about it. This clamp goes on here. Ain't much of a clamp, but it does hold it. If it's not tight enough, I'll put a little tape on it. Anytime you're working on plastic, you don't want to get it screwed super tight, because it will strip out real easy. See, I like to put some tape on it. I'm going to put some tape on that, and we'll put the cover back on it. Alright guys, that should last another year. That should last a real long time doing that. You could even make that longer if you wanted to, but that's probably about good enough. If you get too long, your cord will be real stiff on you. Also threw a little grease on the gears there. It's just making that noise because it's turning there. And make sure nothing popped out. See, this done went out there. Let me get this back in there, then we'll put the cover back on. So this just comes out. There's actually a ball bearing here. It's sealed, so you can't grease that, and there's a little bit of play in it. And that's usually what goes out on these. That or the gears. Like I said, make a note of your screws where they go back together. Okay, here's all I'm put back together. You see that's a lot better than what it was. Don't look the best. You could take some alcohol or carburetor cleaner or something and probably get that paint off of that. So let's plug it in and make sure it's going to work. Well guys, I guess that's about it. If you got any questions or comments, feel free to leave a comment below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. So thanks for watching.